Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we're talking Real Housewives over Atlanta. In this video we're talking Shamia, you guys. I don't know if Shamia's I don't think Shamia gets it, and I'm just confused. So she posted on her social media, y'all, this video, and she's talking about how she wants to apologize to the cast. So in one portion of the video, she has a video where she is individually naming all the cast members, and then she says even Phaedra. But here's my problem with it. She says, I'm sorry if I ever offended you, which means you're not sorry. If I made you feel less than, not sorry. If I insulted you, no. If you have to put in if, it's not an apology. A genuine apology is saying, I am sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I take full accountability for my actions. I shouldn't have said that. But if I did this, I'm sorry. But if I did that, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry if you feel this way. No. That is diminishing the whole purpose and the whole impact of the apology. This is giving people pleasing. This is giving, if I just do this, everybody's going to be back on my side again. No. And if I insulted you anyway, if I hurt you anyway, I'm sorry. No. This isn't it, Shamia. Because people don't do this after reunions. And you should know better, which is going to get me into my next piece. Why is she saying that she felt unprepared for the reunion for Real Housewives of Atlanta Sweet 16? I'm confused. You've been on the show for several seasons. You've even participated in reunions before. I'm confused. You know how this goes, Shamia. I can argue you performed better at the season 9 reunion than you did at this one. Much better. And you were at the tail end, basically, right? Make it make sense. What are you talking about? You were unprepared. It sounded like there was some preparation because you bought that bag trying to accuse Drew Sidora of having a knockoff or not being able to afford, the more high-end designer bag. So there was some preparation. I think you didn't prepare for whatever you prepared for to be a non-factor, which is what I think you and Kelly had a meeting of the minds, which was your first mistake, and thinking that the reunion was going to be you and her tag teaming Britt. And Britt said, no. Not only am I not coming to this reunion, I'm going to drop this $20 million lawsuit on y'all for falsifying information against me. No. And Shamia was not expecting Drew and Angela to tag team that behind. She thought that she was going to have a team to go up against Portia, and it flopped. And this is the worst first seat reunion performance I've ever seen. Now, she also says that she was overwhelmed by the quote-unquote combative atmosphere. I don't understand, Shamia. This is the platform that you've always wanted. You always wanted to be a peach. You've seen how these reunions go. You know the whole point is to get Buck at these reunions, to have your receipts, to have your arguments ready, to react to what happened for the season. You can't do this cop-out nonsense. So she said it was a combative atmosphere and acknowledges moments where she struggles to articulate her points. Listen. If you are holding on to beef for 10 years at this point and you cannot articulate yourself, that is beyond anything that we could do. That's not an us problem. That's not a problem that you have with the other person. That is something you need to work on. I'm sorry, you're what, in your 40s? You're in your 40s and you still cannot articulate yourself, right? Like, make it make sense. And so then she again is, again trying to apologize to the cast, says she hopes for a fresh start and extends her best wishes to everyone. So what does that mean? Does that mean that you're not coming back? Does that mean Gerald put the gauntlet down and said, I'm not about to risk our marriage and risk, everything that has happened with us for a reality TV show. It is time for you to sign off and sign out. But what I don't understand about this is you knew that there was going to be a bigger spotlight on you with you having a peach. You knew that was going to come with additional responsibilities, and the whole point, like Candy told you, she told you to be yourself and show your life. You were not yourself, Shamia. You were being two-faced, you were being messy, and every time you got called out about it, you lied. And then you thought those off-camera conversations with Angela Oakley, with Drew Sidora, of you being messy and two-faced towards your alleged childhood friend with Portia, was never going to see the light of day. And they aired you out on Carlos King in separate interviews. And Angela basically clocked your teeth on that after show episode, basically saying you were never over what happened with Portia in the past. But my thing is, what type of childhood friend does this? A real childhood friend would have resolved any issues, and anytime Angela or Drew or anybody tried talking greasy about Portia, you would have shut it down. But there was a part of you that enjoyed the Portia bashing, which is why, again, I'm questioning this Candy friendship, because, again, whether it is Claudia Jordan, whether it is Kenya Moore, or Sheree, or any of these other housewives, they all have come out and said that anytime you and Portia had issues or y'all were beefing, you would gossip about Portia behind Portia's back, and you would say something a little bit messy. So you came onto a platform that Portia was already established on as a housewife, and you went to all of her coworkers, your alleged childhood friend, you went to all of her coworkers to bash her. Make it make sense. But then in Portia's face, you acted like you were loyal to the soil. You acted like you would never do something like that to her. That would be so hurtful. You would never. Everybody's lying. And then they all came back at you and said, no, you're the liar. You're the one that's full of it. But you got to be ready. You got to be toe-to-toe. And this is what I'm saying, y'all, for those of y'all that have best friends and everything else, y'all not meant to be doing every single thing together. I'm here to break the news to you that any of y'all got best friends, and because I remember a good friend of mine, there were certain things I remember back in college we would both, try out for, or both, attempt to do. Sometimes I would get it, or sometimes she would get it, or whatever else. But there was never any negativity. There was never any jealousy or whatever else. It was just like, okay, you're good for that organization. You're good for that group, or whatever else. And that's how it went. But it was never like, I'm going to keep trying to do every single thing exactly as you so that I can try to sabotage you one day. No. That's insanity. But Shamia played this all wrong. If her goal was to come on this show and sabotage Portia, if her goal was to try to fight on behalf of Candy and the Candy Coded Clique to try to get Portia up out of here, or humiliate Portia, or take Portia down, and now Shamia has a decision to make. Does she want to come back and have even more of whatever tea Portia or anybody else has on her exposed? Does she want to put her marriage on the line like how people this season were going after Angela Oakley's marriage? Do you want something like that to come into play, where you're made fun of a whole season circa the Real Housewives of Potomac when Giselle had Jamal Bryant on the phone the whole season and was barely in the episodes? Is that what you want, for people to suspect that there's issues in your marriage? And why doesn't your husband want to film scenes? And why doesn't your husband want to be around the other husbands or men of Real Housewives of Atlanta or whatever else? Is that what you want, Shamia? I'm just asking because that's what's going to happen. Is you're going to be target number one because you have presented yourself is basically showing yourself to be wishy-washy, showing yourself to be a people pleaser, showing yourself to be two-faced, showing yourself to be untrustworthy. And this may not be the platform for you. This may not be the platform for you. And if you are crashing out like this after just one season as a peach holder, maybe it's not a good idea for you to come back. And Portia has received way more hate, way more backlash, way more stuff that has happened on multiple seasons of this show. And you're doing all of this just after one season speaks volume, Shamia. Maybe this is not the platform for you. And I can't believe that you and Candy in that interview, Candy was talking about how she was coaching Shamia. And I was like, coaching Shamia for what? What is there to coach for unless there was something specifically that you had planned in place and it all blew up in smoke? But none of the less, I hope Shamia protects her family and protects her marriage and gets away from this show. Because I'm telling you, if you come back, all the gloves are coming off next season. All of the gloves are coming off next season, and it's not going to be pretty because if you are already bashing Portia to your all private friend group, and you were already bashing Portia to her other coworkers on this show behind Portia's back, thinking it wouldn't get back to her, and you still think you're going to come back next season and it's going to be rainbows and flowers and they're not going to attack your friendship from the nitty gritty and they're not going to get your moms involved and everything else and potentially try to have y'all moms have a sit down and everything else and have even more beef between y'all? Is that what you want, Shamia? Because like Portia says, you're going down the wrong road. You're going down the wrong road. And if you came back into this friendship for nefarious reasons, just to gain clout and gain fame off of Portia and off of Real Housewives of Atlanta, this was not the thing to do. You should have, carved out your own lane. But everything that you have achieved up until this point, you have admitted that either Candy or somebody else has had to get it for you. And you have much said it about this whole peach thing that you wanted Portia to do more for you to get a peach and celebrate you more to get a peach. Like what are we, children? Is this elementary school? What more was Portia supposed to do for you other than advocating for you for seasons to get a peach and other than, congratulating you, sending you flowers and all of this and all that? What more did you want? You wanted a party? You wanted Portia to shut down Atlanta for you? Like make it make sense. You still had to deliver as a peach holder and you didn't. You played this all wrong. You should have played up the fact that you were besties with Portia. And now you're upset that Portia has distanced herself from you. But why would Portia continue to be close to somebody who continues to bash her behind her back? And she has to hear from other housewives that you continue to bash her behind her back. And then furthermore, if you say that she trusts them more than you then go on the Breakfast Club and Angela Yee and all these other outlets and continue to bash Portia. So what was Portia supposed to do? Continue to be your friend? Make it make sense. So there's that. That is it. That is all for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.